On behalf of the Georgia Public Policy Foundation, thank you for joining us at our annual dinner. This is a great turnout, 250 some odd people. Thank you so much. Special thanks again to the generous support of our corporate sponsors and table sponsors. I have a confession to make. I'm up here to introduce a video. I've already seen it, and I believe the video is very good. While here to introduce it, there's not much I can add to underscore the importance of the terrific work that the Foundation is doing in the state of Georgia, promoting the ideals and principles that made this nation truly great: individual responsibility, economic freedom, limited government, respect for private property, and the rule of law. That said, I have never in my life seen such an in-your-face assault on these core principles than that perpetrated by our federal government in Washington over the past few years, Democrats and Republicans alike. It's been breathtaking. As Georgians, we have a choice to make in the face of this astonishing assault on our heritage. We can sit by passively as this country's greatness evaporates before our eyes and those of our children. Or, as Georgians, we can help nurture a prosperous, free market alternative to this destructive experiment our country is undertaking. There is no better advocate in our state for the ideals that make this country great than the Georgia Public Policy Foundation. By providing a stark policy contrast to Washington, by providing a thriving and attractive alternative, our state can lead our country to a course correction. But we have to lead. We must provide that contrast and hope for a better tomorrow. I truly fear the consequences of inaction, of passivity, of underestimating the perils we face. To be successful in creating this lasting alternative, the Foundation needs your continued support and the support of as many people as you can touch. We need your advocacy. And yes, we will continue to need your money. From the looks of it, we have a pretty big job ahead of us. The good news, though, is that you all recognize that, and you've recognized it with your presence here tonight. Many thanks for being here. Many thanks for your support. Godspeed and God bless.
appreciate this chance to speak here before the Georgia Public Policy Foundation. And I thank you for what you do. For 15 years, you've been researching and writing on issues that matter. You take on tough questions. You apply innovative thinking. You push for action, and you do it all without regard to politics. Come on up to Washington.
But what Rogers and the Georgia Public Policy Foundation have done is to do the hard work, the research, find out what the facts really are, and then be able to present them in a nonpartisan way. Too often, facts become the object of what we call in Washington spin.
I can tell you as one who was in public life in the early 1970s and then the 80s and then the 90s and the year 2000, the Georgia Public Policy Institute is the institution that has brought about common sense, pragmatism, and realistic ideals for our state.
Well, I tell you, when I served 4 terms in the state senate, one of the few areas where you could go to always and get concrete information about real solutions was the Georgia Public Policy Foundation. That hadn't changed. That's expanded. And so Rogers and Kelly and all, thank you all so much.
The Georgia Public Policy Foundation, a veritable veteran now, celebrating 20 years since its founding. They've taught us a lot over 20 years, and they've learned a lot in the past year, including how to avoid scheduling a legislative policy briefing on a Georgia game day.
I view this as sort of our opening shot for the 2013 legislative session because we are in a struggle. We are in a struggle to take on the status quo. We are in a struggle to make sure that we put forth strong, reform-minded, but conservative principles to answer the issues before our state.
For those of you that will be entering the legislature or relatively new, you may not quite yet appreciate how much we rely on Georgia Public Policy Foundation's research and work. As you know, we're a citizens legislature. We have very little staff.
You know, I had a decision to make early this morning if I wanted to be with Kelly, Bonita, and Mike at the W Hotel in the ballroom since 7:30 this morning, or that I want to be with Tiger, Phil, and Rory at Eastlake watching a golf tournament. And I made the right decision to come here.
One of my favorite Georgians of all time is Senator Phil Gramm, who of course is now a Texan, but he still loves his Georgia, and I've heard him say again and again and again, ideas matter, and they absolutely matter. And I think that is frankly what's so important about events like today. I'm so grateful to my colleagues at the Georgia Public Policy Foundation, for so many of you who are legislators and staff members working every day to make Georgia a better place to live and work and raise a family, that these ideas and what you do really, truly matter.
I have known of and have had great respect for the work of the Georgia Public Policy Foundation, I think from its very inception. And I have known probably most of your staff over the years. And so the thought that we're now neighbors and able to do some things together is really quite thrilling to me. So I'm looking forward to that very much.
Thank you all for coming, and thanks to the Georgia Public Policy Foundation, Kelly and Mike and all of your team that do such a wonderful job not only of producing this conference, but also throughout the year of really promoting the ideas of liberty and freedom and free markets that we know work.
The ideas that are developed at the Public Policy Foundation and here in Georgia can change the world. What happens here in Georgia impacts the nation, and the actions of the United States of America clearly impact the rest of the world. And that's why the work that is done at the Georgia Public Policy Foundation is very important.
We believe that ideas do have consequences, and that's why the Foundation's work defending and promoting freedom is so important. We're excited about the future. We believe Georgia can show the nation what freedom looks like in action. We will continue to bring national leaders to Georgia to meet with our state's leaders. We will continue to engage young people through our events and internships. We will continue to tell the stories of how freedom has impacted the lives of our fellow citizens. The foundation is committed to being right in the middle of the great debates, representing the voices of small business owners, entrepreneurs, and the families of Georgia as we fight for economic opportunity so the American dream will be just as alive for our children and grandchildren as it was for us.